In this video, I want to show you how to find the subject. The first step is always to find the verb. And once you find the verb, you have the key to always be able to find the subject. Now, everything we cover here will be subjects that are explicit or actually there in the collection of words that you're working with. There is such a thing as an implied subject, and that usually is the you in the commands like shut the door, or turn it off, or pass the salt. You pass the salt. You shut the door, and you would be the subject there. But we sometimes even call that you implied, because it's just an implied. We don't have to say it. We just understand you are the subject of pass. For you pass the salt, please. Would you pass the salt? Now, this is explicit stuff. The subjects are going to be here. It's just, can you find them? The key is find the verb. And remember the time test to find the verb. So I'm going to work with what I have here on our paper, on this board here. And given the fact now that you know how to find the verb using the time test, to find the subject, you need to ask this question. Who or what verb? Now do not put in there who or what does the verb. Just simply who or what, and put in this blank the verb as it is in the sentence. So let's find the verb here. The large box felt light. How would I say this in the past? This is past tense, so this is how I would say it. The large box felt light. How about present tense, now, if I meant now? The large box feels light. This is the word that's changing. In the future, the large box will feel light. Will feel. So this is the verb. So I'm going to bring this. Here's your verb. I'm going to bring it right up in here and say who or what felt, according to the words I have right here. What's my answer? The large box. So this is going to be my subject. Now, we're not going to get too specific here, because some people want to say, well, really, box is subject and large is adverb, does an adjective. This is a complete subject, and this is the pure subject, box. Let's not get that technical. It'll serve our purposes to learn how to combine and construct sentences. If we can just work with general ideas of this is the subject. Let's just call that the subject. Okay, now let's look at this next one. Under the sofa lay the cat. Well, what's the verb? Let's say this in the past tense. Under the sofa lay the cat. There you go. How would we say it in the present tense? All of this. All of this sentence here. Under the sofa lies the cat. How would we say this sentence in the future tense? Under the sofa will lie the cat. This is the word that changes. So this is my verb. So I take this and I put it right here. Who or what lay? Now the answer is the cat. So this is your subject. It's not. So let's get this out of our heads right now, that the subject has to come before the verb. That's not the case all the time. Many times it will come after the verb. So this is subject is going to be the cat here. Well, let's not even worry about sofa and under yet. Okay. All right. The house was bought by John. Okay. So let's put this. This is how we would say it in past tense. How would we say it present tense? The house is bought by John, or is being bought by John. How would we say it in the future tense? The house will be bought by John. So this is the verb. Now this is a two-word verb. Okay? I'm going to take this, I'm going to put it right in here. Now notice, I just have to ask this question exactly as it is. Who or what was bought? Do not ask something like who or what did the buying. That's not the formula question. It's not who or what did verb. It's just who or what verb as it is. So bring this verb up. Who or what was bought? The answer is the house. So here's the noun. Oh, excuse me, here's the subject. Well, let me ask you a question. Did the house do the buying? No, absolutely not. John did the buying. So let's also eliminate from our thinking this idea that the subject has to do the verb. Not so. That's not always the case by any stretch of the imagination. This is how you find the subject, by asking this formula, not by finding the verb and then saying who did the verb. That's not how you find the subject. So here we have the subject and the verb. All right, now, swimming makes me tired. I mean, just looking at this, what do you think is the verb? Well, let's put it, how would we say this collection of words in the past? Swimming made me tired. How would we say it now? Swimming makes me tired. How would we say this in the future? Swimming will make me tired. This is the word that changes, so this is the verb. Now let's just put this right up here and say who or what makes? Swimming makes. This is your subject. Now this looks like a verb, but it's not. In this case, it's a subject. Now technically it's called a gerund, and we'll find more about this later on. We'll find out more about it later on, but right now it's enough because of the answers we get from this question to know that this is the subject. Now, notice we have a subject or verb, subject verb, subject verb, subject verb. We can put the plus sign in there if you want. The subject plus the verb equals a clause. And that's it. So when you hear the word clause here, you should think it's the subject and verb pair. It's a subject and verb pair. Now, all this other words, this stuff, under the sofa lay the cat, that's not part of the clause. The clause is lay the cat, the subject and the verb. So this is the clause, this is the clause, and this is the clause, and that is the clause for these sentences. A clause is simply the subject and the verb and nothing else.